gonna tell you a secret. The West is falling apart. Epidemics of drugs, obesity, poverty is destroying everything. Mental health is the worst it's ever been, and suicides are the highest it's ever been. Everyone hates their lives. But let's look at the East, where not much has changed in a long time. Honor, duty, resilience are still very, very prevalent there. They've really defined the true essence of masculinity. Traditional values have withstood the test of time, and everyone has tried to keep their culture, that pristine value of something bigger than them. They have tried to keep that up there. But if you look at the West, comfort has reigned supreme. If you look at something that was made 50, 70 years ago, let's say 70, it's so much better. It talks about why kids shouldn't lead themselves, why they need structure in their lives, and why we need parents to discipline them and make sure that they grow up to be functional adults. But if you look at a TV show that was made today, or very recently, it's showing all these hookups, all these people doing drugs and getting high. That is exactly what has happened. Kids in the East have grown comfortable because we have done particularly well in wars. But comfort is not always a good thing. Comfort creates weakness, and weakness creates hard times. And yes, soon those hard times will create strong men. What if we can create the strong men without the hard times? The Western way of life is all instant gratification, no matter the cost. They're bombarded with distractions of junk food, video games, mindless scrolling to serve whatever little problem they have. It's just an escape. And there's no challenges or opportunity for them to grow in the real world. Because if you're progressing in a video game, why would you need to level up in real life? But the saddest part is governments impose this. They want their men in the West to be weak because they're scared of losing their power. They're scared that if they have strong men in their country, they will see that they will have messed up and they will overpower them. And the US, the Second Amendment is the right to bear arms to overthrow the government, and they're scared, so they make men be weak and submit to whatever is going to happen to them. And that's horrible. And they do this by giving us milk at a young age, which messes up both men and women's hormones, making women hit puberty earlier and making men's hormones all messed up throughout puberty. And that is horrible. That's led to the drastic decline of testosterone levels in the West. It used to be over 1,000 nanograms was the average, and now I think it's between 250 to 900. And 900 is quite nice, but most people are not there. And that is a bad, bad thing. Because that leads to so many infertility problems in kids with disabilities or miscarriages. And that's all from men not being able to actually be men. Now, I'm not saying that the West is good. The West does have its flaws, but it does hold the key to unlocking true potential through discipline and sacrifice. Because there they sacrifice everything. There's this show on Disney Plus. It's a new show. I can't remember the name. But yeah, this guy literally kills himself to make sure that his town and his pristine palace kept its reputation. He made sure that kept its reputation because it was bigger than him. And if you want to talk about the West, we're taught from a very young age that there's nothing bigger than us. We rule the world. That is definitely not how that works. We spend so much time telling kids, yeah, you go, you're the best. But they're not. Honestly, they're not. And that may be hard to hear. If you get offended by that, leave. You're not ready to become a true man. But if you're not, and you stuck around, listen to what I'm going to say. We have been taught that we're the best, but we're not. Most of you are in the bottom 99% of men, where there's no competition, No competition to get into the top 1%. Literally, most people are subhumans. They eat junk food. They eat cereal every day for breakfast, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. It's not. And they eat processed like meat for subs, and they think that's healthy. It's not. Get up off the couch and get stuff done. Let's rise above the noise, break free from these digital distractions, and reclaim masculinity. Because when we do that, we can create a better future for all of us. And I know me personally, where the West is going, I don't want to be here. I don't want to sit around and watch all these shootings in public. I want to get out. I want to leave because I see where it's going and it's bad. If you want to change the world, you need to actually get up off that couch. Stop playing video games to wind down. Stop eating horrible food that gives you brain fog. I do most of my work fasted because that's when I think the best. Yeah, that may be hard, and some of you may even cope and say, oh, well, I can't do that because of this, this, and that. And I'm just going to say to you, that is not smart. Because if you want to grow, if you want to actually learn, you need to cut out things. There is a race of all men. We all start at the same spot. And I'm passing so many people. And if you want to actually catch up, cut out things. Rich, successful people aren't doing more than you do. They're doing less. You understand me? Men in the East do less because they spend most of their day working. They do less. All they do is that job to provide for their family. That's all they can do. That's all they have done for a long, long time. And yes, those shifts suck, but it lets them provide for their family and do things that an actual man will do and should do. So if you want to grow, I heavily advise you to follow me, join the tribe, because when you grind like a man, you will become a legend.